What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka Nino's Corner, man. First off, you like this content that is coming your way, go hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It means a lot, man. But first off, let's get into our sponsor, man. Our sponsor is Manscaped, guys. Manscaped.com. Hey, support for the Ninos Corner podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped just launched their fourth generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, folks, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the code Ninos Corner at manscaped.com. Again, folks, using the code Ninos Corner at manscaped.com. You see there on that bottom banner right there, guys. 20% off, promo code Ninos Corner at Manscaped. And guys, while you're at it, go get a 10% off promo code NCPeeps10 at NinosCornerMerch.com. Hey guys, it's all the merch that I have. It's my Do You merch. You guys know that I always tell you guys to do you. Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance. But go to the Ninos Corner merch website. 10% off promo code NCPeeps10. But today, guys, you know why we're here. We're here to talk about Week 8 recap. Texas versus Baylor again. Texas gave up a double-digit lead here in the second half and to allow the opposition, which this week was Baylor. This is 3 weeks straight. First against OU, next against Okie State, and next against Baylor. 3 games in a row. Texas lost when having the lead going into the second half. Texas loses this game. Just a horrible game if you're a Texas fan. A horrible game. It seems like this team has learned absolutely nothing on how to close games. We've heard about the psychological training that has been going on here now, just due to the simple fact that they couldn't close out the last 2 games. You guys heard my prediction. My prediction, I think, was 38-31 Baylor. What was the final score? 31-24 Baylor. So I wasn't that far off. I had the point spread right, which was 7 points. But yeah, guys, let's just get into this, man. This was just not a game that you want to remember as a Texas fan, all right? It's a game you don't want to remember, man. It's another game that Texas had the opportunity to win this game. A couple drop balls, man. Josh Moore dropped the ball. He fumbled the ball too. Marcus Washington. We want Marcus Washington to step up and be that guy. I'm the biggest Marcus Washington fan. He's a hell of a blocker. Catches the ball really well in space. We had a crucial drop this game. I thought Casey played pretty well this game. But hey, still didn't come up with the dub, guys. But let's just get into these stats, man. Let's look at the NCN offense number for the offensive side of the ball for Texas. Texas's NCN offense, guys, 44.6 points, man. The average offense for a NCAA offense here in college football is 40 points. Texas was slightly above average, not saying much. The opposition, Baylor, 55.12. So 55.12 points when it comes to the NCN offense. So they were, highly efficient, highly effective. Talking about the efficiency and the effectiveness of Baylor, 51.39% SP rate, which is your successful play rate, guys. And you guys know when I talk about the SP rate, successful play rate is it is the actual progression to actually get a first down, right? So on first down, you got to get at least half the yards on first down to be successful on that play. On second down, at least 70% of the yardage. And on third down and fourth down, you need 100% of the yardage on those downs to be successful. So an SP rate of 50 or more is exactly what you want. Baylor had a 51.39 for the entire game. Texas had 35.29 for the entire game. So guys, we're talking about two drastic extremes here, guys. Texas could not get off the field. Like just on the defense side of the ball, Texas could not stay on the field for the offensive side of the ball, which is not a good game here for Texas, guys. Not a very efficient offense here. A lot of drop balls, fumbles, turnovers. This was just not a good game here for Texas. For the defensive side of the ball, the average NCN defense, guys, for a college football team is 45 points. Texas had a 48.9. Not good at all. Slightly above average. And so when you're a team like Texas that has all this talent, so we tout all this talent here at Texas. 49 points is not cutting it. Baylor, they don't recruit to the level of Texas. They never have. But their defensive coaching is far better than what we have, guys. 65.6 point NCN defense for Baylor. 25 points, actually 21 points, uh, better than the NCAA average of 45 points. So those are the team metrics, you know. Um, let's take a look at the player metrics now, folks. So week 8 player metrics. The guy that we want to talk about here, let's look at the running backs. Baylor had one thing to do. They set out to stop Bijan Robinson, and they did that. Bijan's NCN rushing was 37.49, his lowest of the season. 17 rushes, I think 43 yards, only one first down, one touchdown, no explosive plays. 2 out of his 17 attempts were successful plays. Horrible for Bijan. This was not his best game. So guys, like I said, at 37.49. Also, Bijan was not that guy in the passing game either. 8.54 NCN receiving, 2 targets, 1 reception, 4 yards. So yeah, no explosive plays, no successful plays, no touchdowns, no first downs. Bijan was not Bijan, and it seems like just talking to just a few of my friends here. You guys know I talk to Texas Homer a lot. I talk to Steven from FP. I talked to Lando from the Lando Show. Hey guys, and we're just talking about look, OU kind of figured out, hey, this is how you stop them in the second half. Okie State kind of figured out, hey, we're going to take it to like another step and really stop Bijan, and then Baylor just mastered it. So if Texas cannot figure out a way how to counter what these defenses have figured out to take Bijan out of the equation, it's going to be a long season for us. We are definitely staring 6-6 down the barrel right now, guys. So Bijan was one of 2 running backs to get carries today. The other one was Roschon Johnson, 5 rushes, 23 yards, NCN of 46.84. So he was above average. So 3 first downs and 3 successful plays. So Roschon had a 60% successful play per attempt rate. But we did not run the ball well at all. So Casey Thompson had a really good game, like when it came to running the ball. I got 3 attempts for 45 yards, and those are going to be unofficial, metrics, folks. In the NCAA game, rushing yards, every sack you get counts against your rushing yards. I don't do that for my stats. I like to see exactly how much they rush. I count sacks towards your passing stats. It doesn't take a negative, like from your passing yardage, but I put that into the passing game and not the rushing game. That's just my metrics. So we did not run the ball well at all. So Baylor basically took the running game away and said, Casey beat us. And damn near Casey almost beat him. Casey damn near almost beat him. He had great bond here with Worthy. We know Worthy has been his guy as of lately. Worthy had a 68.83 NCN receiving, 8 targets, 4 receptions, 115 yards, guys, 4 first downs. So every catch he had was a first down, 1 touchdown. 3 out of his 4 catches were explosive plays greater than 15 yards, and every catch he had was a successful play. And he had 66 yards of yak, guys. So his yak, over half of his yardage came from yak. The next receiver in line when it comes to the NCN metrics is Marcus Washington. He had 10 targets, 7 receptions, guys, 70 yards, 4 first downs, 1 explosive play, 6 successful plays. He had a 32.26 NCN receiving. So you're saying, how does he have 7 catches on 10 targets and 70 yards, and 6 out of his 7 catches were successful plays? How's his NCN lower than the 40-point NCN average for an NCAA athlete? And I'm going to tell you why, guys. Drops. Marcus Washington had a crucial drop, a very crucial drop. And if Marcus Washington doesn't have that drop, guys, let me do some quick math for you. If Marcus Washington doesn't have that drop, and I think that pass was around 30, 40 yards, let's just say 35 yards, okay? And he has 105 yards instead, and he has 8 catches. Marcus Washington's NCN jumps up to over 50 points. And so 15, if he has 10 targets, 8 receptions, 105 yards, I'm sorry, it's going to be more than that, guys. It's going to be 5 first downs. It's going to be 2 explosive plays, and it's going to be 7 successful plays. You're looking at a guy who had an NCN score of 56.65, so 57 points, which is awesome. Exactly what you need from your number 2 receiver. Of course, we didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. We got the dropsies today from Marcus Washington, and it was a play that could have extended that drive. And I honestly think if Texas gets the ball in that area, they're going to punch it in for a touchdown. Now, the next guy on the list that we're going to talk about, guys, is Joshua Moore, man. NCN receiving a 23.55, 11 targets, 5 receptions, 64 yards. I got 5 first downs. So 5 receptions, 5 first downs, 1 touchdown, 1 explosive play, and 5 successful plays. Again, you're probably saying, Nino, how does a guy with 5 receptions, 5 first downs, 5 successful plays, 1 explosive play, and a touchdown have an NCN of 23.55? Again, Marcus Washington had not only 1 drop, he had 2 crucial drops in this game. Not only did he have 2 crucial drops, he had a fumble also that was actually recovered by the defense and stalled a drive. I think Joshua Moore's drop balls and his fumble potentially cost his team at a minimum 10 points. At a minimum 10 points. So his drops per reception, guys, was 40% drops per reception, which is something that you don't want your wide receiver having. So that's why Josh Moore and Marcus Washington's numbers are not what they should be. Those are the only 3 receivers that got targets and receptions this game. Now, if you look at the tight end position, we've been screaming to have the tight ends have a little bit more usage in the Steve Sarkisian system, and we got to finally see that. We had 5 targets between the 2 tight ends, between K. Brewer and Jared Wiley. So I got a 32.74 NCN for K. Brewer, 3 targets, 3 receptions, only 15 yards. How many first downs did he have? No first downs for K. Brewer. No successful plays, no explosive plays, no touchdowns. Jared Wiley on there, he had 2 targets, 2 receptions. On the other hand, 23.06 NCN receiving. No first downs again, no explosive plays, no successful plays. Actually, guys, K. Brewer had 2 plays that were successful in nature, but neither one of them had drops, no fumbles, but they were just, I wouldn't say pedestrian, but they were just plays that happened. Nothing that was going to wow you from the tight end position. But I totally understand why. This offensive line is not the best offensive line that Texas has ever fielded. So they got to keep these guys in the block. Look, they just do. It is what it is. So those are the numbers from the tight ends. I already told you guys before about Bijan's numbers when it came to the receiving side of the house, and Keelan Robinson, he had 1 target, 1 reception for -1 yards, guys. NCN number of 15.4. So look here, guys. Not the best offensive showcase of skills here for Texas in the Week 8 matchup against Baylor. Well, let's talk about some of these team stats here. First off, guys, let's talk about the quarterbacks. So looking at the quarterback charts here, if I look at the quarterback charts, you're looking at the successful play rate, the SP rate. I got UT quarterback, so Casey Thompson, and versus the Baylor quarterback. The SP rate for Baylor was 54%, average is 40%, right? The SP rate for Casey Thompson was 43%. Rushing wise, the SP rate for Baylor was 83%, which is great. SP rate for Casey was 67%, which is also great. However, in the passing game, which is kind of weird, Casey had a 41% SP rate, and the Baylor quarterback had a 48% SP rate. So if you go and look at the SP rates per down, of course, let's look at, we were better on first down. Okay, 47. Actually, it's a tie, 47 to 47%. Us against Baylor when it comes to quarterback. On second down, Baylor's quarterback was better than ours. 55% SP rate compared to 45% rate for Casey. And on third down, neither were good at all. 25% to 33%. But on fourth down, on fourth down, on those money downs when they needed it. Baylor's quarterback, from the passing perspective, 100%. And that was that fourth down and 5, I think, and they end up getting, I think, 12 yards on that fourth down play to extend that drive and get a touchdown in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, big time players make big time plays in big time games, and for Baylor, this was a big time game. It keeps them with only one loss and an opportunity to play in the Big 12 championship game if they keep winning out. So we've kind of already talked about the Texas offense, the Texas defense, the Baylor offense and defense. But let's go ahead and talk to it per the quarter. So from the offensive side of the ball, Texas, 67.3 point NCN offense from the first quarter. Second quarter, horrible, 18.2 points. Third quarter, good, 58.1 points. And then in the fourth quarter, a 30.9 NCN score. So when you're posting a fourth quarter NCN rate of 30.9 and an XP rate of 0% in the fourth quarter, that is drastic for your team. Now let's take a look at Baylor. Baylor, 62.4 point NCN offensive score in the first quarter. They were horrible also in the second quarter at 17.7. And in the third quarter, they were outstanding, 80.7. In the fourth quarter, 90.2, with a 23% explosive play rate in the fourth quarter to finish up the game for 55 point NCN with a 13% XP rate. So their 13% XP rate was 3% better than Texas's. And they thoroughly trashed us here in the second half, took over the lead and won the game. All right, Texas defensive side of the ball. 32.7 point NCN in the first quarter. Second quarter, guys, 65.2. Third quarter, 23.8. And fourth quarter, 16.4 to finish off with a 48.9 point NCN defense. Guys, you take a look at that film. Go look at the game again, which I don't want to look at it again, but I'm going to look at it again tonight. But you can look in the third and fourth quarter. Hands were on the hips. Baylor players were even saying after the game that they knew they had us because hands on the hips in the fourth quarter, which has shown that we have had horrible NCN defensive scores in the third and fourth quarter for the last 4 games. And so this is going to be something to look at going forward. Is it our strength and conditioning coach? Are we not focusing on the right things? Do we just not have the stamina to pull this thing out throughout the whole game? We start off great. We have good NCN defensive scores and offensive scores in the first half, but we cannot sustain it in the second half. What is Texas's problem with this, folks? This is something that Texas has to figure out. They got to figure this out because they cannot continue to lose games like this. It's going to turn not only your fan base away, but it's going to turn recruits away. So Baylor defense, guys, 26.9 points in the first quarter, 60.9 points in the second quarter, 29 points in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, they got a little bit better, 44.6 points in the fourth quarter. They did their thing, which is right at the NCAA average, but they finished with a 65.6 point NCN score for the entire game. So a couple more metrics, guys, and I think we're going to be done. You guys kind of get the gist of this game, guys. Texas offense, explosive play yards per down. Texas had 183 yards of explosive plays, which accounted for 46.21% of their total yardage. The majority of those explosive play yards were in the first quarter. We're on first down. 145 of those 183 explosive play yards were on first down. Texas cannot get it going on second and third down when they absolutely needed it. If you go and take a look at Baylor's, it was a little bit more spread out, 216 XP yards, which accounted for 50.23% of their total yardage. But they spread theirs out. First down, 77 of those 216 yards were on first down. 121 of those 216 yards were on second down. And third down, 18 yards and none on fourth down. But they spread them out across first and second down, made their offense a little bit more multiple, made it, just a little bit more, just more juice to the offense. It wasn't predictable. Texas had a very predictable offense this game. Just sitting at home, we can kind of call the plays from the house, which if we can do that, what do you think Dave Aranda and his crew can do? So, guys, let's take a look at one more thing. Explosive play. Yeah, fourth quarter. Let's look at the quarters. Explosive play yards per quarter. Like I said, Texas had 183 total XP yards, 78 in the first quarter, 39 in the second quarter, 66 in the third quarter, none, absolutely zero guys in the fourth quarter. Contrast that to Baylor. Most of Baylor's XP yards came in the fourth quarter. They had 60 in the first quarter, 32 in the second quarter, 46 in the third quarter, 78 in the fourth quarter, folks. The majority of Baylor's explosive play yards came in the fourth quarter of those 216 yards. But it's not like all of them came in the fourth quarter. They were balanced. They were a more balanced team when it came to the XP yards, causing them to have an opportunity to spread that ball around the entire game, dogged our defense out in the third and fourth quarter, and they get the win by 7 points on their home field, and they walk away with the dub. Guys, if you're a Baylor fan, great game. If you're a Texas fan, it's the same thing over and over. So we got to figure out, what does Texas do from here? What does Texas do? We got to figure out, what is Texas's problem? Why is Texas not having the opportunity to, or not? They have the opportunity. Why aren't they capitalizing on these big leads that they have? Is it the strength and conditioning program? Is this the lack of mental fortitude, I guess, to push through this wall, to actually finish a game? Is it lack of toughness? What is it here at Texas? We got to figure this out. But I think I know what the answer is. But I'm going to have another episode on that later on this week, guys. So stay tuned. I think it has to do something with the offensive line and defensive lines. I got some good analysis that is going to come out for you guys, man. So just be on the lookout for that. I might invite somebody to come on the episode with me to actually talk about these things. But just be on the lookout. I'm compiling data as we speak. So yeah, it's going to be some good information, some good data, and some very shocking information if you're a Texas fan, and some shocking information if you're just a football fan in general, to see exactly where this program is when it comes to the trench warriors. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that topic for now, but it's definitely going to come out this week. But guys, man, like I said, another embarrassing loss for Texas. 3 straight weeks losses when having double-digit leads going into the second half. Oklahoma was a 21-point lead, 11 points against Oklahoma State, another 11-point lead against Baylor, and we end up losing all 3 games. Should be something that should not be happening. I said this on the round table last week. We kind of talked about this in regards to how is this program going to turn around, and this program is not going to truly turn around until your best players become the coaches on the field. Meaning your guys like, and nothing against the guys that are on the team right now, because I think we got some great players on this team that are going to have some great careers on Sundays. But those guys got to be the ones that are visibly mad. Those guys got to be the ones that are going to kick in your butt, make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You want to know why? Because when your best players do that, it sets the tone for the whole organization. You guys know I am a military man. And me as a military man, you got to understand that, look, things happen. Things happen. But if I am the guy, if I'm the leader, I'm the best guy on this unit, and I visibly show some kind of frustration, it's going to carry down to the rest of my team. If I'm mad that we're losing, if I'm mad that we're not doing the things that we're supposed to be doing, if I'm mad that we're not executing, it shows that I care as the leader. It shows that I want you guys to do better, but it also shows I'm putting the onus on myself for us to do better things. And I think that's what this program is missing. We don't have that person that puts all the blame on their shoulders and make sure that this team is not going to lose. They're going to will this team to win. And I think that is something that we need here on the 40 acres here, man. But still got a lot of confidence in this team, man. All day long, man. Horns all the way up. You guys know I'm a grad. No matter what this team goes through, I'm always going to be here. Horns always up, man. I can't knock it. It's in my blood, man. I spent 4 years there. So on that note, guys, man, do you, man. Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance, man. But also, man, hit up, get the sponsor, man. Get the Manscaped sponsor. I know you. Hey, Steven was laughing at me in in my roundtable discussion, man. But 20% off promo code using the code NinosCorner at manscaped.com, man. So get that, guys. Helps me out a lot with the sponsorships, and also the NC Peeps 10 guys on Nino's Corner merch. Get your customized merch, man. So Nino's Corner merch, NC Peeps 10. Get your 10% off any purchase on there. Hats, everything, man. Shirts, hoodie season, the sweaters, man. So but I know, guys, man, appreciate you guys for dialing in. Love you guys, man, and stay tuned for my next episode coming here in the next week or so in regards to the big uglies in the trenches and where Texas stands compared to a lot of teams in the nation. Stay tuned, guys. On that note, Nino's Corner out.